All right, guys. All right, we're going to be starting. I'm going to show you guys. The first drill is set up with 4 cones. You can easily do it with a parent, a teammate. It just requires 2 players. It works on communication. It works on first touch and conditioning. And this is a very quick drill. If you do it fast enough, it's a good workout. It's gonna kind of wake up your body. I'm thinking about adding this to our pre-game warm-ups. This is definitely gonna be a good one to get you guys starting to talk, get you guys starting to move. It's a very simple drill, but it's a good workout, so don't underestimate it. The guys were getting tired very quickly. So 4 cones, as you can see, 4 cones, and there's a player in the middle that will be passing the ball around. There's a player that will be going to each cone to receive it. So let's clear this. So each time they pass, this guy has the ball. He's going to be checking into a cone, let's just say, and he's going to say, yeah, here, ball, one of those, here, yeah, here, 2 feet, ball, anything you want to say to make sure that you want the ball to your feet. And then you receive the ball, 1 touch back to the player, and move on to the next one. You can only ask for the ball though if you show your shoulders towards the player, not reaching halfway there, right? So you want to make sure that you're there and then you ask for the ball. So I'm going to show you guys in this mode. Let me know if you have a hard time hearing or anything, okay? First section of the drill that we're going to be doing, we have a lot of sections that we're going to be cutting. The first part of it is just a simple checking in conditioning drill. So what you do is you check into each cone in front of the cone and you ask for the ball, yeah, and then you receive the ball, player controls it, he goes to the next cone. All right, so that's you see the 4 cones. That's the first part of the explanation. That video got a little bit short, sorry about that. All right, so here it goes in action. Let's see. It's a good condition. It really is. Like you're not going to see it from far, but you're going to feel it there. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure, I really want to focus on that technique of Beckenbauer. Hit your heel, nicely facing the target every time, and don't do stuff like this. Especially in a short area, 1 touch. 1 touch. Keep your heel on the ground as much as you can so we can be staying away from that first touch problems. Go ahead. Ask for the ball. Yeah. That's it. Set him up. Yeah. Stop. You see that? He tossed it towards where he's going to go next. So you need to set him up away from that ball. So what I'm trying to say in here, guys, to them, I don't know if you guys can hear it. So because you're going to go to the next cone right away, you need to set him up away from that cone. Because if you pass the ball to the guy in the middle towards that cone, that's going to be way too short. So it's not a workout, right? So you need to pass if you're gonna go to the next cone next, you need to pass it away like towards me so you can control them, a lot of space to give the pass. And if you're gonna go to this cone next, you need to set him up away from that cone so you guys can move on better. All right. Do one more time. All right. So watch this now. We're gonna be going into each stage. So you can set him up for the next pass. Go. Yeah. Yeah. Set him up far. Good. Yeah. That's see, that's better. You see that? Yeah. That's it. He's asking for the ball. Yeah. Checking in. Yeah. Nice. Very good. Nice. Good. Yeah. Check. Good. Do you see that now? The techniques. Checking in front of the cone, asking for the ball, loud, clear, both shoulders facing the target, and the technique is very important. Now, I really like this movement from them. Let's slow motion it a little bit. So you guys can see. Ask for the ball. He goes there, he checks, he asks for the ball. Good technique, control is nice. He brings his heel to the ground, you see that? He brings his heel to the ground, it's really low. That's a good technique, toe up. And he keeps it away from the next ball. You see that he's passing it this way, so he keeps it away from that cone. And he passes it this way to his right foot, so he keeps it away from that cone. It's constant movement. And it's a workout though, guys. It's definitely a workout. So it's going to be waking up your muscles when you're doing this. Let's go.
He's getting tired. Stop. As he gets tired, his communication goes down. He doesn't want to say it anymore. That's what we need to do. You need to be able to perform with your body at the top level while you can still think and perform vocally. So you're going to be able to do both. It's not that easy to do this. It looks easy. Look at this is the simplest drill it looks like. It gets tiring after a while, right?
Do you guys understand that? I want you guys to kind of comment about this, please. The communication there, right? So what I'm saying there is, after a while, when the player is getting tired, the communication goes down. You need to be able to do both. So that's gonna get you guys get used to thinking and doing muscle work, repetition work at the same time. So it's gonna be working up your brain muscles as well as your leg and your lower body, right? So you want to making sure that you work out everything. So we're gonna start from the beginning. You'll see that Hector starts like at the beginning talking a lot, demanding the ball, asking for the ball, and then it goes down after a while.
So you can set him up for the next pass. Go. Yeah. Yeah. Set him up for. Good. Yeah. That's it. Ask for the ball. Yeah. That's it. Good. Quickly. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Nice. Very good. Good. Yeah. Check. Good.
That was a quiet time that you saw.
See, he's getting tired. Stop. As he gets tired.
So two of them here, this one and kind of that one, he wasn't talking anymore. Do you understand the point there? Let's go back out a little bit further. I already said to you guys that this is about communication.
You can't just show up there. I want to make sure that you say, yeah, or here, yeah, and demand it. You want the ball to yourself. Nobody wants to give the ball to somebody who says, yeah, I'm here. Because you're not sure about yourself. Why would I pass it to you when you're not sure about what you're going to do with that ball? A good player who wants to do something with that ball wants the ball demandingly. How? Yeah. Right here. I want the ball because I know I'm going to do something good with it. Does that make sense? All right, 2, go.
So do you understand that point, guys? The point up there is demanding the ball, right? When you guys are, just like I said up there, not sure about yourself. Yeah, here, give me the ball. Yeah, that's not a confident player, right? Like you gotta learn. You don't understand how important it is for communication, and like sometimes players or parents come to me and nobody wants to pass it to my kid. Is your kid demanding the ball? Is your kid always like open and very vocal? If they're not passing, then yes, that's a problem, and we need to talk to the players about opening the game to that side, right? But we need to make sure that we look within. We need to make sure that we need to make every player more demanding, more confident, and making sure that they're understanding that they gotta let them know when they want something. Like in that case, I explained there. If you guys hopefully remember, when somebody's really demanding, really loud, they see something. That means that they see the next ball or they see a shot. They think that they're going to be able to do something great with the ball. That's the time that they want to be more demanding. They need to be louder to be able to really receive the ball. Do you understand? So let's see the next one. If you have a question with that, please let me know. This is another one, same drill. Let's see the workout in here. Rio is one of our pro players from Steelheads, as well as Hector. Look at the movement. He got tired, he's not speaking anymore. You see that? Great touches, but he's tired. Tiring drill for sure. Okay, so like I said, it's very important to do all three things. We have a lot of quiet kids in our club. This could be a very good drill for them to communicate, ask for the ball, and also move. It's such a good conditioning drill as well. So this part, the same setup, the 4 squares, same setup, but it's a different type. Hopefully you guys pay attention to this. I'm reading some of the comments now. Want to communicate square. Yep. Exactly. Hector is saying communication is hard after a long time because of running out of breath. Exhaustion is really good workout though, he says, because he's one of the players that did it. All right. If you guys have more comments, please let me know.
Go ahead. Okay, same idea, the square right here. This time, still communication. He asks for the ball from the player. Yep, just I pass it, he passes back to me. I'm gonna grab it. He asks, volley. Oh, go touch one more time.
Volley only there.
Volley there. Next one is your chest. Volley. And push. Yep, and head it. Beautiful. You understand? Let's see an example.
So it's the same speed though. Communication again every time. You're gonna ask first one on the ground, pass normal. Second one, volley on airs. Third one, chest and volley. And the fourth one is header. So you need to make sure that you move on fast with this. This is the second stage. And by the way, before you go to the second stage, for the first part of it, you can do left foot only too. So you can rotate to the left side for some of the coaches if they want to do that. Volley, quickly, chest.
Oh my God.
He's mad at himself, that's okay. He's gonna make it better. Feet, that's it, every two you switch. Volley, quickly, that's it, look at that. It's going up. He's running, he's trying. You see that? The intensity from the first one, second one. He's mad at himself, he touches face, but he doesn't give up. The attitude of a professional player, right? He wants to get better. Now he's gonna do perfect. Because this is it. I don't give up. I get better. I do better.
Make sure you ask loud and clear.
Every time. So you see that after you get tired, last couple of them he wasn't talking as loud and as demanding anymore. And that's one of the things about this workout that is very important that you guys need to make sure. Yeah, exactly. Good question. How far apart the cones should be? I would say 5-6 yards. 6 yards, even 7 yards is okay. If I were to work with a younger little guys, I'll say 5-6 yards. But if you are older, U15, U14 and older, I would say 7 yards minimum from each other's square. That's a good question. Thank you. Yeah, and Joe, yeah, you can do 8 yards if you want. Depends on but 8 yards makes it a little bit too easy, I think. You need to be able to move fast and get out of the way. It's definitely a good workout. It's definitely a good setup and good conditioning drill as well as communication and first touch. The intensity needs to be high, and then you want to make sure, just like the first section, only on the ground and always asking for the ball. Here, ball, me, yeah, here. Like, just make sure you're demanding when you know you want the ball, right? It's very important that you can communicate even with exhaustion. So some of the techniques on air we're going to be talking about in here. So I see some of the issues, right? We're doing this session. It's a workout. You have to check in and ask for the ball still. You need to keep doing that. And problems like ankle is not locked here. The ball is like speaking in 4 different languages. You need to make sure that whatever you do, even if you probably didn't hear that. I said if your ankle is easily moving, your ankle is probably speaking 14 different languages. That means it's not locked. So if a ball comes with a strength behind it, you could easily not direct the ball to where you want to direct unless you really lock their ankle. Do it like this or like this. I like this one better because when you close your ankle, it's steady. Just like you're shooting, right? It's steady like this. Lock it, lock it, lock it. It's connected with my shoulder. Inside foot, everything connected. It's good over. And you can do it like this too to redirect it if it's higher, right? So the other part is the chest. So you gotta make sure that if you want to do a quick chest and volley, you cannot be standing still, make it forward unless you're gonna shoot the ball. If you guys gonna go keep it close to you and then pass the ball right away. Keep it close to you, get it a little bit of an angle, and
Next one, you need to still jump it, right? You need to make sure this doesn't happen. You need to not close your eyes and do this. Okay, it needs to be forehead, seeing the ball, seeing the target. And after that, when you hit it, you can close your eyes. You want to make sure you are facing the target every single time. On the ground, when always straight, dropping down, or at least keep your foot on the ground as low as you can. Alright?
All right. Let's see. Oh, this is a really hard drill, but like, let's go one more back. I'm gonna be doing a reminder of this one again. Let's see how good they do it. Oops, we don't want to watch that right now.
Yes. Oh my God.
Keep going, keep going. Look at the attitude though. He wants to get better. And coach gets on him. Let's get another one. Up it. Wally quickly. Go ahead and check in. He asks for the ball. Yeah. And okay. Look, one of the things I really liked about this one is I think it was here somewhere. Let me see. No. The intensity on the ground one. Here. He asks here, right? You want to make sure that you keep the intensity up every time you do these drills. So this drill right here is like, I would honestly, I saw drills like this when I watched the Barcelona youth program, but I came up with this 3 square drill. And I usually, when I work with used to work with Trinity Lutheran, some of the other colleges, universities, and every time I work with pro teams, and this is one of my favorite drills to do because it's a workout. It makes you think. You need to be a very smart player on and off the field. So I'm going to show you guys how the setup happens in here. So let's go reset. And so what happens is you set up 3 grids, okay? And I'll say 7 yards from each other at least. Again, 7-8 yards you can do. So 3 squares it's called, right? So there is 1 square, there is the 2nd square, and this is the 3rd square. So these are all about angles. So what this does, guys, is there's 2 players in the same team, okay? And 1 player in the middle, and this player has the ball, okay? So he's trying to win the ball, okay? And this guy can only receive the ball in one of the cones. So if he's here, is this very open? Can this player defend this? Yes. So he learns to go as far as he can away from the pressure. So he passes to here, right? So now the defender can go in here, but we're going to stay inside, right? So if the defender is not closing him, if he's closing him, he needs to go somewhere else. But he goes here and gives him the same pass. He's open, so he can stay in the same area, right? But if he's closing this area because he knows he can pass it there, then this player needs to make a quick run. Is this open? Not necessarily. This player can still defend that. So he needs to not be lazy. He can go all the way to here. That's far enough. He can build up a next play. He can go here or he can go here, right? Those 3 cones. So let's just say he chose this one. That's fine. He got the ball. Defender is coming and he's closing this angle. So, I mean, he could go here, but it's not the best choice, right? He could go here short. It's okay, but maybe better is this one, right? He's coming hard. If he passes to here, even on the way to there, he's going to be able to get it and he's more open. So it's constant movement, guys. This is a really good drill for you, but you need to think. A defender needs to think. The offensive players needs to think. The player without the ball needs to think. This player with the ball needs to think. There's it really pushes you to be increasing your intelligence. This is one of my favorite. I call this the dodgy drill, dodgy 3 square drill. Before somebody steals that from me. All right, let's see this explanation.
Yep. Okay, guys. Hold on. So this grid, you see there's 3 grids. A square here, okay? About 7.
I'll just go a little bit further.
Another grid right here, another grid right here. 3 squares. You have to receive the ball by the square every time. So 2 against 1, you cannot, if the ball comes and you get the ball in between them, you...
So if the pass goes in between the cones, the player that passed that ball goes in the middle. He becomes a defender. Because we want to make sure you guys receive the ball in tight angles. So we're visualizing tight angles. So you're going to be only receiving the ball on the cones. Do you understand? So it pushes you to make a run that far. It pushes you to use the field that is given to you. And in the game, this is going to happen a lot. So this is a really good drill if you can understand it. And like I said, these are all semi-professional soccer players, and they were struggling with it.
You have to receive the ball on the cones. So what are you working on? You need to be getting used to angle. So if Rio passes the ball to me, so I'm looking at Rio, so you need to close Rio, right? So Rio needs to be away from the, yeah, that's a good one right there, or that's furthest one, right? So I'm gonna pass it away. So he has to go there. So if he's going like that, I'm just gonna, cut the pass. Don't let them do a give and go. Okay, so if he's there, yeah, now that's gonna make me, I'm not gonna choose the short option. I'm gonna go the furthest one. Now there's space. Either go fast. Yeah, that's better, right? So you're recognizing.
See, I don't know if you saw that there. The defender was on me here. He was going to this cone, but I wasn't satisfied with that because that's closing my angle too for give and go. I wanted to go further, and also if I pass the ball here, this guy with 6'4", 6'5", Shamli long legs might be able to cut that pass, and that's closer to him. So I kind of let him to go that way. If you can see that here, I wasn't happy with his movement there.
Either go fast. Yeah, that's better, right?
That's it.
So you're recognizing which angle has the furthest, and you're showing up. So you're working on several different things. The player with the ball is leading the player to random open spaces. The player without the ball needs to go open. Instead of getting rid of that bad habit, you guys have shortest one. So you know what happens usually? Let's just give the ball.
Watch this. Of course, we had to cut that video always. That sucks. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully, this is the one that. Yeah, I think this is the one that it shows it. Bad habits.
That's fine. Alright, so I'm going to pass the ball to you, and you step into it, right? And this is it. This is usually it for us.
Do you see what I just did? A lot of you guys, you do this. You're thinking you're open because you see an opening here, but is this far enough from the angle of the player? You're still straight behind the player. Like, all he has to do is step this way. Like, you need to get used to being in more open space. So this drill really pushes you to do that.
That's it. I'm on the phone, but is that the right one? The furthest, look. The furthest, is it here or that one, right? I get the ball, he's coming to me. He's blocking. I'm going to pass it there.
See, do you see that what I chose? There, I could have chose this one right here. And because he's coming in, that could be cut. So I give him more space. I pass it to somewhere. He's going to be way away from the defender. I pass it way away.
This is really hard, by the way.
This is going to be really tough for you guys to get used to this drill. But honestly, if you get used to this, this is going to make you a much better player than most of the States players. Because a lot of our players are, unfortunately, one of the things that I really do not like about here is square, square, square forever. They just go side by side. And you know what? Like when you watch teams like Barcelona, Bayern, there's always angles. They always create better angles. They back up more to see more space in front of them, right? So, like we talked about this before, like English soccer players, when a player is here, they get the ball, they want to go square right here so they can go to, which can work, yes. But modern soccer, this guy goes a little bit deeper to be able to see more space behind their defense. Now he has more space to see what's coming at him, because this is what I don't like about this square balls. A smart player can cut in, and always you don't even know what's coming from this area or that area. That could be a lazy forward coming back. But when you're deeper, you can kind of sense that even coming from here, or you can sense the player pressuring from there a lot easier. And you're closer to the keeper, so communication from keeper will be a lot easier to hear as well. Does that make sense? That's why I always say that, like, I'm not a big fan of the square balls forever. I know that's you're gonna be focusing on that most of the time, but it's important that we be creative and kind of catch up with the rest of the world.
So here's the ball, right? Hold up. So you see me pass the ball.
So do you see the subject now? Same thing. Daji's 3 square workout, leading the player now. How do we lead the player? Okay, so watch this.
So here's the ball, right? Hold up. So you see me pass the ball to me. So you're making it up. I'm gonna lead you to the furthest one up there. You understand?
So he wasn't even there. Do you see that? He wasn't even there yet, but the guy with the ball can make a decision for the player. Even if this guy is lazy and he's gonna go to the closest cone, I can lead him. Okay, you know what, man? Shamli is 6'4" size. He's gonna be able to cut this ball right away. So you need to go further away from that pressure.
I'm gonna lead you to the furthest one up there. You understand the idea?
You can't see that cone, but there's a cone there.
Okay, ready?
All right. So leading the player to where you want them to go is the creativity of the player with the ball. Okay? This is why I think the top level players will like this drill. Let's see if there's anybody making a comment before. The defender is trying to steal the ball. If he steals the ball, I mean, come on, Jason, it's easy. The defender is trying to steal the ball, and if he steals it, like I said at the beginning, he switches with the player who he steals it from. So it's like monkey in the middle kind of thing. Well, we're really focusing on like passing, but yes, you can beat the player in this drill if you want to.
I love this drill. I think if I work with this drill with the top level professionals, like if Memphis City did this drill, they'll love this drill. Because it's all about angles.
So if you can hear me, I'm saying it's all about angles. So the top level pro players or their trainers and coaches would like this drill because it makes them constantly move. It makes them communicate. It makes them not be lazy, and also works on 2 against 1 defending. It works on decisions with the player who has the ball, decision with the player who's making a run. It's a good workout.
It's possible to defend angles. They love that. Guardiola will buy this drill. Why? Because
I'm gonna sell this drill to Guardiola.
I'm looking that way. I'm gonna choose the furthest. If you're coming to me, I'm looking at the furthest option. So if he's going, where is he going defending? He's going that way. So I could go all the way up here. That could be good. Or all the way up there. I'm really recognizing where I'm going to that. And then you coming to me. I'm looking at here, away from pressure. And then I can go further that way. It's constant movement. It's going to be a tiring drill. Well, you three go. You got.
They do get really tired really fast with this drill, by the way, too. It's a really good workout. So you can switch players of 5, 6, rotating with this because you're going to get tired really fast. This is an important subject when you're doing this drill. It's how do you deal as this is the off the ball player. So the guy with the ball, he's looking for the player he's going to try to pass to. But guy who doesn't have the ball, who's trying to receive it, how can he use the blind spot as an option? So what is the blind spot? Go behind the defense's line because defender is going to be watching the ball. So you can go in the blind spot and you can start doing some movement behind.
He's watching the ball, obviously. And he's coming to me because he's thinking like the pass going to go there. When I see the defender coming, I'm in the blind spot. He's not looking at me. So I can change my direction and go somewhere else. So go ahead.
You understand that? So
He's watching the ball.
I can use that as an advantage that he has to watch the ball. I can change my direction. I don't necessarily have to go to that cone, right? When I see the defender covering that, you can use that against him. And there's another example right here.
Can you face the ball? That's the ball. Then I can change direction, go somewhere else, right? Go. He's closing that. Yep, that's it.
That's it. Do you see that?
Idea. Can you face the ball? That's the ball. Then I can change direction, go somewhere else, right? Go. He's closing that.
He's closing that, so you can change, and I pass it further. You see that I'm on purposely not passing it here. This is why in practices, even when I'm an injured guy, I pass it always not to this closest one. I always pass it away. That's why it's harder to defend my or intercept my passes. We understand the idea. Watch this one more time.
Can you face the ball? That's the ball. Then I can change direction, go somewhere else, right?
I receive the ball on the cone. He sees that. He goes to furthest one. This is good movement right here. All right.
So, listen. Why I like this drill is several reasons. Okay? One reason is every single player in this drill needs to be smart. And they need to be able to think quick. They need to be able to think quick and think several different things. What? One, space. Okay? Two, the defender. Three, the player you're going to pass the ball to.
All right. So when we're looking for the pass, these are my 3 rules. Daji's 3 rules, right? So Gala's 3 rules. So when the player has the ball, what are the 3 things that they're looking for? I want you guys to write it down right now. I'm waiting for that before I move on. 3 things. What are the 3 things we're looking for when we are the passer? What we need to follow all 3. All right. I think that's Kylie. 1, space. 2, the opposite player who's going to defend that pass. And 3, your player. Great. So that makes it obviously an undefendable pass, just like Madison said that. But there's 3 things that you need to do, right? Just like I think it's Kylie. So it's the space, the opposite team player that defends that pass, and your player. Most of the time, our players, when they see a situation like this is what happens. I'm going to show you guys in the board. So they see this player. They get the ball, they see the player. Right away. Most players just kick the ball to him. They're not aware that there's a player coming in here. They're not watching that, so bam, this player steals the ball. Now you got to do a lot of work to deal with this player who might be the fastest player in the field. We don't know, right? So 3 things. 1, the player you're going to pass to. 2, the closest player who could defend that pass. And 3 is the space. So the space is, I'll use red. So space is probably here, right? Away from that pressure. So let's go to move again. So if the player passes, if I pass the ball to here, that keeps the player away from this pressure, and when he receives the ball, he has more space and time to see the next pass, and also allows them to go wider and see more through ball opportunities. So that's why it's a good answer, Kylie. Well done. Very good. Yeah. So it's important that we focus on that when we're passing. Those are the 3 rules. Most of the time, a low-level college player, right? I'm not saying this in general. Low-level college player is going to be able to do 1 or 2 of these. By the way, I said low-level college player, and I was pointing at Rafa. He was really sad, and I didn't mean him. I was just giving an example. He looked really super sad, so that's why I said, "Oh, not you." Like, watch this. You could see my facial reaction. He's going to be able to do 1 or 2 of these. You understand? So they're going to be like, "Give the ball to me." They see him player is going to be able to do 1 or 2 of these. Oh, you missed it. You understand? So they're going to be like, "Give the ball to me." They see Hector. He gives it around, but I saw Hector. That's what I saw.
So, Rio is coming, I'm just gonna pass them. Hector's not there anymore. How many times have you guys, not maybe all the time you, but you've seen teammates do this?
Okay, so it's important that you follow all three of these rules to be able to have a successful pass every single time. Okay, blind side tricks. So these are important when you're moving off the ball.
Rio is coming to me. I see Hector. I'm gonna go there, right? Further. Now, where can I go? Now, I can be smart. He sees you seeing me coming, so I can go the other way and go back to the same area. I can pass there, and I can go the furthest one I am, and I'm gonna touch it close to my body. Look, do you see what I did there? What I did? Touch it close to my body.
So what am I doing? Watch this. So when the ball comes here, I'm gonna ask you guys. So Hector gives the pass to me, right? I get it. And where is Hector going right now? Hector is going to open space here. But where am I looking? Am I looking at Hector? This is an important one, guys. Tricks about having the ball and, being smart about what you do. The first trick was, of course, when you see the defender coming with you, you change direction, right? You be smart and you change direction.
Do you see what I did there? What I did? He was gone, but I was still looking that way. Does that help me? Yeah. Because he can't see. I can. So if I do this, what? I want you to stay there. So you get into the ball. Rio is defending me. Look, I'm at.
So if you see that when Hector gave me the pass, when I received it, I look that way like I'm going to pass it either to Hector is making a run that way, or I see somebody else. So I take the attention off Hector, but that opens the way of Hector again, so I can still come back to Hector. Watch this.
So if I do this, what? I want you to stay there. So you get into the ball. Rio is defending me.
That opens up his way. Do you understand the idea? So these are very small tricks. It's makes your possession a lot better when you're doing this drill. These are all the steps. And guys, we don't have a lot of examples with the players doing it, but this is the drill how it's supposed to be. I'm explaining it more. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm explaining it more, but once you do it, and we're going to be doing this drill once we start training. Like I said, we started training this week. I hope you understand this one. Let's go from the beginning of this. Couple tricks.
I see Hector. I'm going to go there, right? Further. Now, where can I go? Now, I can be smart. He sees you seeing me coming, so I can go the other way and go back to the same area.
I change
I
direction.
can pass there, and I can go the furthest.
Not a great pass there.
And I'm going to touch it close to my body. Look, do you see what I did there?
Do you see how it's like when I see Hector moving, I know that, but I don't have to stare at him and give the attention to Hector, right? On purposely, I'm staring at the wrong side. On purposely. All right.
Looking that way. Does that help me? Yeah. Because he can't see. I can. So if I do this, what? I want you to stay there. So you get into the ball. Rio is defending me. Look, I'm acting like the ball, like he's making it around there.
Sell the move. Sell the pass. Like open the space of the player. Okay. And there's another blind spot trick.
So if I get the ball and I'm like, here, wouldn't that be helpful?
Same thing. You see what I did? I got. What am I looking at? Do you see the body language? Let's do this a little bit slow motion there. And the best thing about that, actually, I want you to listen to it. So the player who passed me the ball is Rio. Okay, so Hector is pressuring me. Hector, this is Hector, and this is Shamli. Okay, so Shamli is in my team, I think, in the situation.
So if I get
he's not by me. Rio is wrong. Do you see what I did there? I got the ball. I touch it this way, and I told him, Rio, like I'm looking that way, like I'm gonna pass it to Rio there, but Rio is not going there. I use that communication to trick him. I told him, yeah, Rio, go that way. And then the player is actually coming in even closer, and I actually know that Rio didn't move yet, so I used it against him to beat him. Does that make sense? So this is a little bit different because I'm using communication.
Wouldn't that be helpful? Yeah. Like I'm not selling it like Rio is going that way. He has to stay in the blind side. So even if Hector see it, like that confused the player. Just 1 second of hesitation. That's all you need. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, they really struggle with this, guys. That's one of the reasons we don't have a lot of like examples. And this is when the players kind of answered. If you can't hear it, I apologize, but players why they liked it, and they did a good amount of workout. They did 30 minutes, and they struggled, guys. They struggled big time. But like I said, you understand the drill. Like we're gonna be doing this drill with you guys.
Why do you think it's important? And why I think you can get, you're not gonna like it, but you can get 3 friends and get together and do this session. Why?
Decision making.
Decision making? Why? What kind of decision making?
Decision making, he said.
Playing into the right space, moving in the right spot, and not being like behind the defender.
Yep.
See, did you hear that? Rio is the captain of the Steelers professional team, semi-professional team. He says decision making, not being behind the player, but you're opening and running to open space further and more open. So instead of being lazy and thinking you're open because you made a couple steps, is not necessarily the case, right?
Communication.
Communication is important in this.
Yep. No risk pass. What is a no risk pass?
The pass that the defender can't reach.
Yeah.
Very good. TJ, I asked him, what is a no-risk pass? And TJ made it very simple. He said, a pass that the defender cannot reach. They cannot intercept. They cannot be able to reach that ball. So a pass way away from his reach, right?
A pass that defender cannot have a chance to reach and get to that ball.
Also reading the game and step ahead, same what the person behind you is gonna do.
Yep.
Yeah, being able to see the space or player and make a decision.
And we're recognizing what
This recognizing space the player has, and sometimes lead that player to that space, even if he's being lazy, right? Like we gave a couple of examples with that.
we usually only blame the guy with the ball, right? In the game. A lot of coaches, if you work with some coaches, college coaches, they always blame the mistake of the player with the ball. I blame both. I blame the receiver too. Why? What does the receiver need to work on?
I hope you understand that. So the question to that, I'm gonna ask you guys, what is the receiver's responsibility? Why do I blame the receiver too when it comes to that? Why do I blame the receiver? What are some things that the receiver of the pass, the guy who's supposed to open up for me, what could they be doing so wrong that I was also upset with them about losing the possession of the ball? Please respond to that while we're watching this. This is about the vision of the player. I always say, my coaches used to say this to me, what does the ball see? And this is exactly what we're explaining in here.
So, what does the ball see? Ball, guys, doesn't have a brain. So when they say in Europe, when they say, what does the ball see? They're talking about what? The ball sees with the player. It's connected to the player. Now, when I have the ball, I am the ball. You understand? So this is what I look at. So if there's a defender here, this is what the ball sees. Does that make sense? So, you know how many times you made a mistake?
So in that example, we are visualizing Hector is running at me, and this is the player. I don't pass straight to him. The ball sees the space right here, right? We kind of talked about that in here. I'll give you guys in the whiteboard in here. So if this guy in this drill gets the ball, the pressure is coming to him. The ball not necessarily see this. The ball sees this space. This is way more away from the reach of this player, right? because he can reach to that pass to here, but it will be harder to reach to here. So the player is now running here. Let's just say he's closing down this. So if you go here, does the ball see this pass right here? Or is it a better run all the way to here? You're not going to be there on time, no, but I can pass the ball there and you can lead the player to that pass and you won't be losing this ball anymore. You know, let's just say I have the ball here again. You could also make a sudden run to here or here. Further is better, right? Because now you have more space away from the defender. So it's constant movement. You know, you pass the ball there and then the player goes there. And if his players worry about, player sees you making a run that way, so he is actually closing that area, then come back to here, right? We're thinking about if this guy has the ball now, and I just passed the ball to him, right? And I'm making a run, but the defender is so worried, oh, he's making a run that way, I'm gonna go there. And I'm in this blind spot, I just come back to where I am, because now I'm open again. Okay, a lot of players don't do this. They don't use this as their own advantage. Okay. The angle, yeah, the angle, like creating the angle, that's correct. Kimberly is saying they didn't move to space, open space, and hide behind the defender while asking for the ball, or just you know, took too long to move, ultimately cut off the pass without giving his teammate a chance to pass it. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I will explain it like I said in here. You just need to be way away from the reach of the defender. So you need to like not be lazy. A lot of players, unfortunately, I get the ball here and they just like, the players coming here, they're like, okay, I'm gonna come closer. You're still in the way, man. Like, this is easy reach. The guy is gonna be like stepping with his foot and it's over for you. Okay, this is a step, right? So let's throw it in here. Oh, my bad. Let's throw it in here. This is a step. That's a step, right? So why would you be like here? Why would you be here? Where is the ball show? Ball shows here. Ball shows here, right? That's the furthest and the best pass you can give. So lead him there. Sometimes the players that just say slow. Oh, my bad. I mean, let's not move the cones, yeah? So sometimes the player is lazy. They're not making it on time, but lead him. Pass the ball here. He needs to make it there. That's the right pass, though. Does that make sense? Let's go back to...
So it says the defender here, this is what the ball sees.
I passed it way away.
That makes sense. So, you know how many times you made a mistake? Try to pass to the closest player. So, for example, you're in my team and you have to come in, you're defending me, but... And Rio is making a run that way. And I'm just trying to pass where the Rio is, but Hector is right there. Hector can step in. Can you please do it, please? Let's do this again one more time. One day we're going to give good examples. So if I'm just seeing this, Hector can cut in and steal this ball.
Yeah. You see that I'm passing it to the closest one. That's not necessarily good.
And I'm just trying to pass where the Rio is, but Hector is right there. Hector can step in. Can you please do it, please? Let's do this again one more time. One day we're going to give good examples. I'm just seeing
sarcasm.
Hector can cut in and
all right. So like this is the closest one. This is in the reach of the player. So I should have passed it further to the cone and make this player move. So do you understand how much workout this is? How much running you're gonna have to do if you guys gonna do this right? So again, let's go back to this. So you saw that situation. Let's go create that situation right here. I have the ball here, right? And defender is coming from here. And this player just passed the ball to me here. And then he was closing it here. But then he's making a run. And he's coming closer. And I chose this closest pass. He can easily step and steal the ball. I need to make this guy work a little bit and pass it to that area. And he will be getting that ball for sure. So if this guy is stepping, you know, because that's where I am, right? He's going to close the pass, the only pass this guy has. Then I need to make a run this way, right? What happens, what we're talking about, right? if the player kind of blinds, spot, he sees me kind of, and he's moving that way, then change your mind and change direction and maybe get on this way. That's exactly what this drill is making. It's requiring you constantly to think very fast in a very fast speed base. You understand? All right, let's go with the next one. All right, this is a crossing drill, guys. Because you can't really see the cones in this grass, I'm gonna show it in here. So let's go clear this, reset the whole thing. So we're gonna put these as cones again. So there is a cone here, there is a cone here, and there is a cone here, okay? And there is a goal here. Let's just say this is the goal, okay? And put a keeper there. We put 2 forwards right here, and they wait on their cones right here. We put 3 cones, the front post. When we say front post, I know everybody always waits here and they close their own angle. When we say front post, you need to be closer to the keeper right here, and then make a run forward, right? You need to, that gives you better space and time to see. And the second cone is going to be way in the back post. I would say all the way here. So let's just move the goal a little bit. And he'll be here. And then the third cone in the drop. So what happens with this drill, guys? There's a crosser. There's a defender here. And I have the ball. So when I start dribbling, defender is going to be released the moment you come this way. And you need to do one of the outside mid moves, beat the player, and now you're required to look up because these guys are going to talk to each other. Well, let's just say this guy is going to say, I take the drop. I take the front post. Okay? So if this player beats the defender and crosses it high ball to the back post, that means he didn't even look up to see where these forwards are. So this drill is requiring you to actually look up and see where the players go. So this time, let's just say, he says, I'm going to get front post, I'm going to get back post, okay? So when you beat the player, if you drop it, you weren't looking. So front post pass is hard on the ground, drop is hard on the ground, and back post pass needs to be on air to the back post with a backspin. So high ball to that one. Okay, backspin, we've been working on that for a while. So I'm going to be showing you guys a couple moves that you can do as an outside mid. And, like I said, it's a struggle, but you'll learn because outside mid moves, it needs to be doing a little bit more in, full speed when you're running. So it's a quick movement. It has to be a quick move. And we're going to be working on those now. Pay attention.
All right, guys, in this drill, you see in the cone here, there's a cone up there, there's a cone up here. There's 3 cones. Front post, which is right by the keeper. It's not really front post. They go there so they can move forward. Back post about 5-6 yards behind the back post, and then the drop. Okay, a little bit outside the penalty line, about 4 or 5 yards, almost on the 18. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be working on some of the moves. So the player dribbles when he comes to middle, defender's in. So we worked on a couple moves last time. 1, double touch, beat the player. And you're going to have to look up. So you have to do the moves. So the player dribbles when he comes to middle, defender's in.
So right here, I'm going to slow it down a little bit for you guys. First touch, it makes it look like you're going to cut it this way. A very short, small touch. And then the second touch is a long touch to open space. Not towards the player, to open space. Okay? Let's see. He's going to it. It's barely touch and touch it to open space. It makes it look like you cut it. Now you're looking up to cross the ball. At that point, when he's dealing with the player, the 2 forwards should be already running and they're not, because they're probably thinking about their girlfriends, their school, their Xbox game, or something is happening to them right now because they're not making a run as I told them to. They're thinking about their life, Like I said, something is happening. But let's just say they did it right. I'm still waiting for them, by the way.
Running straight to the ball when you cross it like this. No, you need to beat the player.
Once you beat the player, this is what I'm explaining. Don't go straight to the ball and have the ball on your right shoulder. That's really hard to cross and hard to see the player. You need to come this way so you can see where you're crossing it to, and it's much better technique to do.
Running straight to the ball when you cross it like this. No, you need to beat the player, right? And another move, I'm going to do another move. This one, are you going to do that? No, look up. I'm in this
Look at where I'm going.
I can cross one of them. I have to see.
No, they're there.
The moment I'm doing the move, you need to be running. You understand? And what is the other move that we did? The stop go, right?
And the third move, that one, you pull and cut. We've been working on that for a while too. So I think I'm gonna go over the moves again one more time right here. This, you act like, so when you do that, you go over the ball. It makes it look like you might be healing it or you might be stopping the ball. So the player stops when they're on the side of you running with you. When you do that, they stop for a second. Watch in slow motion right here. I go and then touch it inside my foot. Do you see that? Second one.
Okay. Touch. And stop, go. Look up. And see the touch. And stop.
That one you pull it towards you and hit it inside your foot. So the player thinks you stopped it, but you're not actually. You're just pulling it towards you and you kick it. It's a good move to beat the player.
Look up and see the player. And that was finished.
Alright.
This.
So that's 3 moves. I added one more move around here somewhere. Let me just, before the crossing. I think this is the one. I added a Ronaldo one. A lot of Brazilians actually use this move. A fake.
You're going, right? You act like you're going to cross it. Do the Ronaldo one like this and push it. You act like you're going to cross it. So from here, right, let's just say I'm going to act like I'm going to cross it that way. I go on the right side of the ball. I act like I'm going to cross it and push it. That gives you enough space and time. A simple move, but make sure you sell it. How do you sell it? I need to make sure I look like I'm going to cross the ball and push it face up.
When you want to sell it like you're going to kick the ball, you want to make sure you use your arms to sell it. I act like I want to kick it. Look, arms up. So now the player thinks it's going to be kicked. So they step to block that. That's the perfect time to actually get out of there. Let's see the example with Hector. Let's give it again. He did a move, beat the player. He's crossing it. He looked up before he crossed. So that's the drill. Okay. So these one more thing in here. A lot of the times, like when the cross came and we were doing so many examples in here, they unfortunately always went from the bottom up. I'm showing them now. If the ball is coming to you high, you always need to put your foot as high as you can and then bring the ball down.
If I start from the wall and up, it's always going to get under the ball. Ball is coming, I have to start high to down. I have to start high and down. So bring your foot as high as you can to your shoulder even. Bring it up and bring it down. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get the angle. That's too low. Foot up high and bring it. See that? That's better. Bring this hard.
All right. Okay, guys. So let's go back to this drill. So I'm doing any of the moves. The player is coming to me. The moment that I get close, the same line with the this line, the player is going to be coming at me. So I do a quick move. Let's just say double touch. I beat the player. I'm not going straight to the ball like this. like, when I beat the player, I just go a little bit of this way of the ball, so that gives me the view of where the players are. Now I see them, front post on the ground, back post on air, on the ground hard to the drop, and those are the angles on this drill. Okay, it's very simple when you do it. So any questions about any of these drills? I know there's not a lot of examples. There hasn't been a lot of good examples, guys, and we also don't have a lot of time, but I personally tell you that 3 square drill is gonna change the way you play, completely change the way you play. I used to do that. I'm gonna tell you this. I used to do that like with some of my best players, like Jason. Now he's gonna be playing for Western. He used to do this drill all the time. Laura Hernandez played for Colombia national team, played in the World Cup, used to do this all the time. Jalen playing USL, getting paid. He's used to do this. A lot of the players that I sent to Europe, they used to do this drill. This drill makes you move fast, strong, and constantly, wanting to be open, constantly wanting to do the right thing instead of the laziest and easiest option, the furthest option, the hardest to defend option. Those are very critical. I am taking questions now. Please ask questions about any of the drills, even comments about what you saw. Are you excited about trying these drills? Because I'm telling you, that 3 square drill, these guys loved it and hated it at the same time, because it really shows a lot of your weaknesses, a lot of your problems, a lot of the issues that you think you don't have, and it brings it up in front of everybody. But it's a good thing to learn those so you can actually push to do better, right? This drill is absolutely incredible drill. It's one of my favorite drills for opening the game, communication, making the right pass, leading the pass. So many different things you can work on that stupid 3 grids. It's incredible, I'm telling you. Like, it's all, and the fact that it doesn't make you lazy. Like a lot of the drills that I see people do, you can put a pass closer to the defender, and as long as it went to the player, the coach is happy. I'm not happy, because I don't want any ball to be able to be reached at, any ball that could be intercepted. I want to make sure we increase the percentage of success of controlling the possession. Like Pelé said, when you control the ball, you control the score. It's 3 square drill, it's called. 3 cone drill is a complete different drill, Ajit, but yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of technical issues came out when we were working with that, even with our semi-professional players, for sure. I'm gonna give some example ones. While we're thinking about questions, one of the first drills, the square drill, guys. Let's see, Hector and check in. Yep, he needs to be asking. He got quiet. He got quiet. That's better. That's better. Ask. He's tired now. All right. I'm waiting for questions, concerns. Ajit says he was at that drill. He says you learn how to pass and always be alert. You have to quickly find the space. It's very, very good drill, guys, for sure. That 3 square drill. Let's see if
Hit your heel. Nicely facing the top.
I'm waiting for your concerns,
Stay away
questions.
from that first touch problems. Go ahead. Ask for the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. Set him up. Stop. You see that?
The set him up is very important there, guys.
Action of the drill. There we're gonna be actions that we're gonna be cutting. So what? In front of the cone, the ball. Player controls it. He goes to the next cone.
I'm waiting for your questions, guys. I like the on-air one too. Wally.
Oh my God.
Yes. Good. One more. Good. Start and switch every two. Yeah. Every two switch. Do it quicker. Take it. Do it quicker. That's it. Good. Just make sure you ask loud and clear. You understand?
All right. Questions, guys? Concerns? Comments? All right, guys. I guess that's it. So thanks for tonight. I hope that you understand that. We'll be doing those drills pretty soon, like this week. Thursday is the first training session start. Saturday and Sunday signups. And some of the coaches might be offering different days and times. You'll be seeing it as soon as we send it out. You'll see it, guys. And I will be the most available coach. If you want to get me once a week, sign in quick to where you want to be and what time you're going to be working out. Once you sign in, please try to stick to the point, because we have a lot of the drills that we do require to have numbers of 2 or 3 players not show up and not being responsible. Is going to mess up the whole drill for the rest of them. So please do the right thing and be responsible. We have to deal with the situation right now, and we're excited to go back to the field. I'm excited, guys. Thank you.